Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. Bitcoin had a very boring weekend, which is pretty much always the case for BTC on the weekend. Not really a lot happens, but what's most surprising about this past weekend, despite the sell-off on Friday of almost 4%, was volume. Weekend volume being this high is actually significant because you can clearly see every single weekend over here. It's usually the dip in the chart. Now we have a weekend over here that was pretty big volume. This weekend, pretty big volume. Weekend. You can really see the dip. So the fact that the weekend volume almost met the 30-day moving average of volume at about 2.07 billion is significant. Now, I understand that this sell-off is not very fun. I get it. On the 30-minute time frame, I shared this with people in the Better Traders Club because I actually have access to this signal as well. This is the TBD stop loss hunting alert, which fired right here at 1 a.m. I was not awake during this time, but it fired at $111,000 and it preceded a 4% crash for BTC. Of course, that meant a much bigger crash for other coins as well. We have two TBO close longs on the 4-hour time frame. These aren't necessarily like mega bearish, but they do tell us and remind us that if you haven't taken profit yet, you might want to consider doing so because we're already up pretty big on our long position that was open back here at 96K. Here's one warning at 6%. Here's another warning at 12%. Those are good warnings to pay attention to. Now, on all counts, Bitcoin still looks amazing. I know that the pullback left a lot of you feeling a little bit deflated short term, but this is still amazing. Again, the price is way above the daily TBO cloud, and more notably, look at what's happening to the slow line right here. It's starting to curl up. And while we have these TBO breakouts right here, if you think that this is the price breakout right here, you're sadly mistaken. These TBO breakouts in the past have yielded some massive moves. And again, it takes about 30 to 40 days for the move to be done. And this is after the third one. So we're only on day 6. We still have a long time until this proposed move should be done. So maybe it might take as long as the end of June, which is great. And which is also very strange to have price action this bullish towards the end of May heading into June. Usually it's very bearish. So this is really good stuff. Plus, on the weekly time frame, I want to point out a couple of things. One, the price is above TBO resistance and the weekly cloud. That looks amazing. Weekly RSI is still above 70, which means that we should continue to see bullish upside price action for the next 4 to 6 weeks. On balance volume is just pushing higher and higher. It clocked in a higher high, not maxing out the high that we saw back over here in, what is this? January up here, but it's still amazing. Plus, weekly volume finally, and this is what I've been talking about a lot, it finally met and exceeded the 30-day moving average, just like we saw back over here and over here and over here. Now, ideally, we want to see it perform or outperform over and over, like we saw back here in November to December. We're just getting started. Again, we have the breakout on the daily that was just confirmed last week or so. So we're just getting started. Again, I'm not really panicking. Ethereum, just like everything else, had a more bearish response to Bitcoin's pullback. Ethereum closed down at negative 5.19%, but it didn't go inside of the cloud. Yes, it dropped right back to the 0.618 level, which is a very important and very significant Fibonacci retracement level. So something good to keep in mind there. Short-term target is back 7% or so, and I think it will continue to move up higher. As much as I don't like Ethereum and their lack of innovation, in my opinion, I think that it is oversold, and I think we're finally starting to see volume looking good again. I mean, 3 weeks in a row, volume outperforming the moving average is amazing. Now, RSI is not above 70, meaning that we don't have this guarantee of bullish upside continuation, but on-balance volume is above the moving average. It will take several weeks for this white line to curl upward, but these are all great signs on the macro side. Total 2. This one is also looking good. Now, why am I sharing total 2? Well, because the weekly time frame confirmed and closed a TBO open long. The last one of these was confirmed way back over here on November 13th, 2023. And we saw total 2 move up 147%. This is a great bullish confirmation sign. It does not guarantee that the price goes up and up and up. But why am I pointing out total 2? Well, the total crypto market cap is an interesting chart that represents the entire crypto market cap, which has already looked great for a while. We've been in a continuous open long position ever since this pump back here in October. But total 2 is a better representation of everything minus Bitcoin, which is really like the Ethereum market cap. That's the way I think of it. The fact that we are above historical resistance, the fact that we have it confirmed open long on the weekly is a good sign for bullish continuation for me. I mean, this is an easy target up 31%. That means Ethereum moving up 31% should be pretty simple. Again, that's an easy target, 33.77 in my opinion. Now, AAVE over here on the daily time frame, this is still looking amazing. Now, there are no new signals to watch out for. It's just a really good looking chart, guys. I mean, we've got a TBO open long back here on May 6th. Ever since that price, it's now at 52%. Look at volume continuing to outperform the moving average. See the yellow line just moving up higher and higher and higher. Look at on balance volume pumping up higher. On the weekly time frame, now we have confirmed bullish upside continuation for RSI on the weekly. It's at 72.42, meaning that we should continue to see AAVE shoot higher and higher. Look at weekly volume. It's a good looking chart, guys. I think that AAVE's next target is pretty simple. It's going to be up here 376, which is an increase of about 37% or so. That's where I think we're headed next. Ronin or Ron. This one is still slowly moving up higher. We talked about this concept, or I've talked about this concept several times in my videos about this TBO springboard bounce. We have our open long confirmed on Sunday, the 18th of May, a week ago. See the price initially move up about 12%, retraces back to the fast line, and lo and behold, it's bouncing off the fast line right here. Now, I do expect Ronin to continue to move up higher, but this is again one of those instances of we're waiting for the fireworks. We have a confirmed open long. We have confirmed bullish continuation. Now we just got to wait and see what happens next. I have a lot of other charts that I want to share with you here, but before I do, I want to remind you that I teach people how to trade for a living. This is what I do. We have courses at the Better Traders, 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom, Mastering Passive Income, our advanced bot trading course, The Smarter Trader, our advanced active trading course. And we have a new course that we launched in partnership with Kitco Media on mastering assets called The Complete Cryptocurrency Investor. This is a great course for anyone that is just starting out in crypto, where you feel like you have some gray areas, you don't really understand the cryptocurrency space, and you want to have a better, solid foundation. This is the course. It's also a good course to gift people. And of course, if you want I can't say naturally because that's not a really good transition as whatever. We also have the Better Traders Club, which if you want access to the TBO indicator, which I talk about in every single video, this is where you get it. You have to scroll down all the way here to our tiers. So if you want access to the TBO, you have to join the trader tier. If you want access to everything, including the TBO Pro and the TBT divergence signal, or the indicator rather, that's the Pro tier. So let's take a look at these charts. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to also show you on All Trading, I still have my BTC position open. I haven't interfered. I haven't done anything. It's still open. It's profit, right? It's up 3.3%. So just kind of waiting on this to see what's going to happen next. I do believe that Bitcoin will be going up higher, another 40% from the confirmed breakout that we have on the daily. So I'm going to leave this open as long as it takes, and hopefully it closes in the green. But that's, again, the essence of trend trading. We don't know how high the trend is going to go. So that's why we stay in the trend as long as possible. And that's why I use the TBO. Now, let's take a look at some of these other charts. So these blue flags right here, light blue, denote TBO breakouts. Now, we have these breakouts here on Hype. The first one is on the 17th of May. Right here, the 22nd of May, the 23rd of May, Thursday and Friday last week, we had 2 TBO breakouts in a row. And again, the TBO stands for the trending breakout indicator. So this is exactly what this thing is designed to do, is to predict breakouts. Boom, right away. Usually it doesn't happen, but right away, 18%, which is amazing. The price has almost fully retraced back up to the 1. As I've been saying over and over, a good short-term target for Hype is going to be the $63 mark, which is the 1.272 fib level. I spent a lot of time preparing charts and talking actually about Hype as well. in my latest Coin Bureau trading video that I posted on my Friday. You should watch that to learn how to use fibs a little bit. If you want way more in-depth tutorials and strategies on how to use the fibs, again, that's the Smarter Trader course at thebettertraders.com. Ultimately, I think that we're going to see hype push up here to $107. I think that's a reasonable target. But given that it's a relatively new listing, it hasn't experienced a real proper bull market, it could also go up a lot higher. It just depends on the market. It depends on how things are moving. But I mean, volume looks amazing. On balance volume has looked amazing for a long time. On the weekly time frame, it is obviously strong bullish because RSI is at 83.34. But I want to draw your attention again. I know all these targets look great and the breakouts look great and it feels like, oh man, I missed out. TBO open long confirmed back on the 21st of April. I'm going to do this every single day until we get a bearish signal on this chart to show you why trend trading is so awesome. It is now up 113% from printing the TBO open long back in April. These TBO breakouts are amazing, but they're always going to happen after we get an open long. So I want to help you and remind you, Ronin, just getting started. I'm not saying that Ronin is exactly the same as Hype. I don't know what Ronin does. I don't care what they do. I know that Hyperliquid is part of a trading, like whatever, DeFi trading stuff. I don't really care, to be honest, because there's going to be scammy stuff all over, even with AAVE, even with Ethereum. So it doesn't really matter to me. The thing that matters the most, though, is trend trading. So here, Hype. Price goes up 6-7%. It actually goes down to the TBO fast line, and then from there it rips. I'm not saying that RON or RON has to rip, but just saying. Now, Whitebit, you might remember this on Friday. I said, well, this is weird. It had a TBO breakout on Thursday. I shared that on Friday. Had another one on Friday, had another one on Saturday. This chart is breaking up, but just so you know, Whitebit coin, this chart is like the biggest, wimpiest chart I've ever seen. Yes, the breakouts are incredible, 3 in a row. This will probably go up higher. But just so you know, like a good day for Whitebit is up 0.27%. So this trades more like a stock chart instead of a crypto chart. Monero, XMR. This one continues to rip higher. Gasp. After we had our first breakout, even though that breakout was because of a rotation of funds, I guess we could say, from BTC into XMR to try to muddle up the funds and hide the funds from a hack. We had 2 more breakouts, and then we see the price moving up from there, 27%. We're very closely approaching the 1, which means essentially that XMR is going to be fully retracing back up to this previous high right here. Even though it did shoot up to another high right there at 517. On the weekly time frame, it also has TBO breakouts, so it could go up higher, just like these TBO breakouts preceded a massive move for XMR, just saying. And also, weekly RSI is pretty amazing. It closed at 93.26. That's euphoric. That's pretty insane, guys, just so you know. So I do expect it to continue ripping up higher, but it's on a major tear right now. Now, Maker, this one also has a TBO breakout cluster on the daily time frame, but the price is not reacting yet. Does this mean that this is a defunct signal? Does this mean that it is dead in the water? No, it doesn't. Sometimes these signals take a long time. You'll notice that I was so surprised that Whitebit and Hype were pumping so hard, so fast after printing the breakouts. Even with Bitcoin, it took a couple of days for it to really move up higher, but this is only a breakout of 6%, which is on par for Bitcoin. But for Maker, I'm still waiting on this to have a positive pump. Again, easy first target up here, 30% at the 618. Zcash, ZEC, this one printed a TBO open long on this newly closed candle after pumping up 10%, which is significant. On the 4-hour time frame, we're also seeing a lot of these breakouts as well. And I'm pretty sure on Friday, I made note of these. If not here on this channel, I did in the Better Traders Club Discord server and my market analysis write-ups. Another reason to join the club. Pendle, this one still has a confirmed 3 in a row TBO breakout cluster. I still expect Pendle to break out big time. And these setups are awesome. I like these because the price is so unassuming, you can't even tell that there's any excitement whatsoever. But this is telling us that the spring has been coiled, and we're waiting for it to explode. And last but not least, one of my favorite meme coins, SPX 6900. This one does not have any TBO breakouts yet on the daily, but it continues to push higher and higher. It's back to 90 cents. We do have these 2 TBO breakouts on the 4-hour from last Thursday. Price is looking amazing. It's back above the cloud. It's not yet confirmed strong bullish on the weekly, but I'm expecting a TBO breakout to appear at least this week on the daily time frame. I just have a feeling. I'm not predicting anything. I don't have any inside information, just saying. Now, a word of caution for PP. Good old Pepe the Frog has 3 TBO close longs on the 4-hour. If you remember previous videos where I've talked about these, when I see one of them, it's like, okay, sure. But when I see 2 or more in a very tight range in a cluster, that's a really bad sign. It's not a sign of strength at all. So this isn't really a good thing at all, in my opinion. I think this could actually end up being pretty rough for Pepe. We also, on the daily time frame, have another TBT bearish divergence signal. Again, having 2 of these close together, not really good. But let's zoom out. What's happening market-wide right now? Market-wide, things are looking pretty good. Other memes are also looking pretty good. So while we might have a little bit more of a pullback, really, Pepe should be fine. It actually retested and it bounced right there into the TBO fast line yesterday, and it's already up 6% from there. So I think Pepe will be fine. Unfortunately, we don't have that confirmation on RSI, but volume, weekly volume continues to outperform the moving average, which we haven't seen in a long time. I get that this is BitGet. It's not the biggest exchange, but it has the most history. That's why I use it. Now, our last 2 here are really important. Aptos. This one pushed and pierced above long-term overhead resistance, and it got rejected on Friday, and it's back down again. This one has been such a frustrating chart to watch because it has been struggling with this overhead resistance line for such a long time. I do think that Aptos will have its day. I do think that it will pump. I do think that Aptos will shoot all the way back up here to like this TBO resistance level at 1452. It's going to take a long time to get there though. The first thing it has to do is confirm this as closed. WIF, this one had a very exciting pump on Friday where it wicked above long-term overhead resistance. It pierced it, which is a great sign that this level can be punctured again, pierced and conquered and going up higher. So now we're waiting on the price to test it or pierce it again, if not today, this week. And I do believe that is coming this week. So again, I want to remind you that we have tons of tools and resources available for you at thebettertraders.com. You got to sign up. You got to join the club. You get the TBO, TBT divergence, all the good stuff that we have there. The next thing I'm doing this morning is I'm going to be preparing my weekly market analysis video for all the people that are in the Better Traders Club. So stay tuned for that if you are a club member. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.